What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hidden Heights Farm Vlog. My name is Kevin, and today we are going to grind some deer meat. So you guys seen the last video where Caleb harvested a doe this year on the Oklahoma Youth rifle hunt, and we already ate that backstrap, all the backstrap actually, and with the rest of the meat, I already got it all deboned and everything, and I've been having it sitting in the fridge for a couple days waiting on Amazon to ship us the smaller size foodsaver bags. We're going to take the rest of this meat and grind it all up, and we're going to preserve it by freezing it, of course. We're going to make a little jerky, but today what we're going to do is get our Cabela's meat grinder. We got a 3/4 horse meat grinder. I've had it for like, probably 7 or 8 years. This thing works great. And we're going to grind the rest of this meat up, and then we're going to put it in the foodsaver bags. And I said I deboned the meat. I still got to kind of cut it up a little smaller so it will fit down in this food or this meat grinder. I'll show you guys when we get it in the house. But it's super easy. This thing, this 3/4 horse one, will go through meat like no other. It's hard to keep up with. So as fast as you get it cut and chunked and stuck down in there, it's doing its job and you got ground deer meat. So I keep it out here in the shop in one of these Rubbermaid totes just to keep it clean and everything. I clean them good when we're done using them and put them up. We also got one of these meat tenderizers, so if you wanted to make steaks or whatever, cut some steaks out of one of the legs, you can put it down in here and it tenderizes the meat real well. But I'm going to get this in the house and we'll get it set up and start using it. This is what we usually put our ground in, these little bags like this, and I don't really like them. They always leak, it seems like, when you go to thaw them out and stuff. And I would rather put them in the foodsaver bags. That way you can kind of stack them flat and they thaw out way faster. So we always try to cut up the backstrap or the tenderloin and cook it. But with the rest of the meat, we usually just grind it and use it in chilies and other things you would use ground beef in. That's just the way we like to do it. So yeah, we'll get this set up and I'll talk to you guys when we get in the house. Alright guys, so I always try to put this thing on a towel because it don't make a big mess, but sometimes it does drip after a while of use, and you don't want blood all over your counter or wherever you do it. So it always helps us just to put a towel down. Alright guys, so we're pretty much set up here. Got my cutting board, got my old buck fillet knife. This is actually a fish fillet knife, but these things are super sharp. They're hard to find, so anytime I try to find any of these old buck fillet knives, I try to pick them up because I really like using them to cut meat and to clean fish and stuff like that. So we're gonna get this thing completely set up. We're gonna start cutting our meat and just throwing it on here, and we'll start grinding it as soon as we get this little hopper full. But here is our meat. It's been sitting in the fridge. It don't get any fresher than this. And you can see some of these chunks in here are a little bit bigger because I kind of just cut them off the bone and threw them in here. That's too big to go down in this hole right there. So we'll get them cut up. Don't have to be real little, but the smaller the better, because this surely isn't going to fit. So I'm going to get to cutting and we'll get this meat ground up. And this is a good time, if you see any hairs, kind of just pick them off. When you clean a deer in your shop or at your own house, you're going to get some hair on the meat. Nobody wants to get that in their food, so try your best just to keep an eye out for it and kind of just pick them off as you go. Alright guys, so we got all the meat all chunked up. We got this hopper full, got our stainless steel pan ready. We're ready to grind. I just gotta plug this thing in, hit the power button, and we'll be going to town. So I didn't weigh how much meat we got here that we're gonna end up grinding, but as soon as we get done packaging and all that, we'll get a measurement of weight and see what we end up with. Like I said guys, this 3/4 horse machine, I mean it just goes through the meat like nothing. Just as fast as you can keep it cut, and it turns it into grind. And we have a little finer plate on here. I can't remember the number. It's not the biggest coarse one and it's not the thinnest one. I think it's a number 8 or a number 12, but I like this bigger sized hamburger here. It makes a really good chili. Number 1 rule is do not stick your fingers down in there, no matter what. I mean, look how fast this thing goes through this meat. And don't even bog it down at all. I'm going to start throwing some more in here. Alright, so this right here is from the wound where the shot entered the body, and it's not going to hurt anything. That's just blood, that dark color there. And it might make the meat look a little different, but it's not going to hurt anything by no means. So we'll just put it all in there and keep grinding. Alright, the last piece is done. Alright guys, so like I said earlier, we were waiting on these little smaller food saver bags. They're already sealed on 3 sides. All you do is fill them and then seal them up. And you want a little extra room, as I found out in the last video where I did the quail. You want a little bit of a tag here that fits up inside that food saver so you get a good seal. You don't want the machine right against your product or your meat. So what I'm gonna do is, I got this little digital scale here. We are going to go ahead and put this stainless bowl in there, turn it on to zero it out, and we're going to measure 1 pound of meat. It's about a half a pound. Oh, how perfect is that? 1 pound. So what I'm going to do now is get this over there, put it in the bag, and we're gonna process it through the food saver to seal the bag so we can stick it in the freezer. Kind of want to get it to the bottom of the food saver bag, and let's try these new bags out. I'm going to go ahead and kind of flatten it out a little bit. All right, there you go. So we got 1 pound of ground deer meat in this food saver bag. These things claim you can keep meat in the freezer for 3 years without getting freezer burnt or it tasting funny. So this is the way we're gonna go. This will be long gone before then, I promise you that. But I'm gonna get busy doing the rest of this and we'll get a tally on how much weight we just ground up in that Cabela's 3/4 horse meat grinder. Alright guys, so we ended up with 23 pounds of the ground deer meat, and a little tip I want to share with you guys. So the reason we're using these food saver bags is it's easier to stack them all in a freezer, and another thing is you get them out, look how thin you can get these things. You get them out, they're going to thaw out way faster, and we don't have a dough roller here, so I'm going to show you guys a little tip that I'm going to do. So this thing's completely sealed. You can just take a glass or anything cylinder shaped and just roll this thing out to where it's pretty much even all the way across, and there you go. And you just stack them in your freezer. You're gonna take up a lot less space. That way you can kill more deer, goats, whatever you want, and stick them in your freezer, and then you got meat ready to go. They're gonna thaw out way faster. So anyways guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, smash that thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.